People in Iowa City talk about the Black Angel the way people everywhere talk about local legends. With a grin, a warning, and the assumption that nobody actually believes any of it. The stories change depending on who's telling them. Some say the angel was once bright gold, but turned black after being struck by lightning. Others insist the woman buried beneath it had everyone she'd loved taken from her, and the statue absorbed the grief until it turned dark. There are stories about curses, too, that if you touch the angel at dark, kiss beneath it at midnight, or disrespect the cemetery, death will follow you home. I never believed any of that. When I moved to Iowa City, I wasn't looking for ghost stories. I wanted somewhere quieter than where I'd lived before. My life had become repetitive: work, home, sleep, repeat. And I figured a little smaller city might make things feel a bit different. A few weeks after moving in, a guy from work asked if I had visited Oakland Cemetery. I asked, why would I do that? You haven't seen the Black Angel? He asked. Everyone goes there at least once. He showed me pictures on his phone. The statue looked impressive, but not supernatural. It was tall, dark bronze, wings folded behind it, and one arm raised upwards. I remember thinking it looked less like an angel and more like something frozen in the middle of delivering a warning. Go during the day, he said. It's cooler that way. That should have been enough for me to leave that alone. Instead, I went that weekend. Oakland Cemetery was larger than I expected. There was old trees everywhere and winding paths between monuments that looked older than the city itself. It was peaceful in a way that didn't feel sad, just quiet. Then I saw the statue. Pictures really didn't do it any justice. The Black Angel stood taller than everything around it. The dark bronze surface made it stand out among the pale headstone graves. And even from a distance, there was something strangely human about it. Not alive, just present. I walked over and looked at the names carved into the base. I circled it once and then twice. Nothing unusual happened, no strange feeling. There was no rush of cold air. Eventually, I reached out and touched the base. The metal felt colder than it should have in the summer heat. That was the only thing that stood out. I laughed to myself, I took a picture, and I left. That night I had a dream. In my dream, I was standing back in the cemetery. Everything looked exactly the same, except the angel's wings were now open. Under those wings stood people, hundreds of them. Every one of them had their heads lowered. Then the angel slowly turned its face towards me. It didn't move like a person. It moved like something enormous, remembering just how to move its limbs. I woke up immediately. My bedroom window was open. I knew I shut it before bed. I closed it and went back to sleep. The next morning, I forgot about my dream. By the following night, though, I had another. Same cemetery, same open wings, and this time the people beneath them raised their heads, and they all looked exactly like me. Every age, every version of me. There was me as a child, a teenager, adult, all staring. The angel looked down and said quietly, "You came to see me." I woke up sweating. Again, the window was open. At first, I tried to explain it away. It was an old house, it was a bad latch. But over the next week, things started happening that didn't fit any sort of perceivable narrative. I would hear footsteps upstairs after I'd gone to bed. Slow walking, not dramatic or frantic, The kind of walking someone does when they already know the layout of a house, just taking a stroll in the middle of the night. Every time I checked, there was nothing there. Then one morning I found dirt across the upstairs hallway. Dark dirt. Dry. Thin streaks that stopped outside my bedroom. No footprints, no sign of how it got there. Nothing. I cleaned it up and told myself I was being ridiculous. Still, I started reading about the Black Angel. Many stories were tourist stuff and urban legends, but occasionally someone would describe something that sounded familiar. It would describe the dreams and the open windows. The feeling that someone had entered your home, even when nothing had changed. One person wrote, "Don't go back." That annoyed me. I hate when stories tell people not to investigate. So I drove back to the cemetery. Middle of the afternoon. Bright sun. No atmosphere. No excuses. I walked straight up to the statue and stood beneath it. Nothing happened. Feeling embarrassed, I looked up and said quietly, "You're just a statue." And then I touched its base again. The moment my hand made contact, I noticed flowers sitting nearby. Flesh flowers. But they weren't facing inwards towards the grave. They were arranged facing outward towards visitors and towards me. For the first time, I felt genuinely uncomfortable. So I left. That night, I woke up to a sound outside my room. It was a scraping noise. Slow, metallic scrapes, like something heavy shifting across concrete. I opened the bedroom door, but the hallway was empty. At the far end, though, the upstairs window was open. Moonlit came through, and for just a second I saw a shape outside. It couldn't be a person. It was far too large. It was something with folded wings. I slammed the window shut, and when I turned around, there was dirt on the floor. Fresh dirt. And one long mark across the dirt, like something had dragged a feather across it. I didn't sleep upstairs after that. Nothing else happened for months. Eventually I convinced myself I had worked everything up in my head. Until one evening, I was deleting photos. I found the pictures from Oakland Cemetery. The first few were normal. Then I opened the last one. It was zoomed in. Not on the statue, but under the wings. Someone was standing there, too blurred to make out clearly. But I recognized the clothes. They were mine. The timestamp said the photo was taken before I had even walked to the monument. Before I should have been in the frame. I deleted it immediately. I deleted all of them immediately. I changed phones, and I never went back to that cemetery. Most nights are normal now, but every once in a while I wake up and find my bedroom window open. Only a few inches. And standing there in the silence, I always get the same feeling. That somewhere in Iowa City, something old remembered that I stopped by there once. And it's waiting for me to visit again.